know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast, brought to you by NBA 2K24. It's myself, Mo Mootsie, as always, alongside me, three-time NBA champion, Mr. BJ Armstrong. How you doing? I see you repping LA today in the t-shirt, but it
Yeah,
ain't a
you
good day to be
know.
repping LA.
No, it's not a good day in Lakerland, but we'll get to that. Out of, the three games here this evening. The
It was
Lakers are
great
yeah,
times over in
yeah.
Scott's part of the
Uh,
world in Orlando. It was a
misery.
great time.
Yes, misery loves company. You Celtic fans are looking for some company right
Hell
now.
yeah. I'm chilling. I'm happy now. I don't mind. We lost one game. At least we ain't getting swept. But the Orlando Magic, let's talk about them. Laker fans are so mad in my mentions
Boom.
and my DMs right now. And they
Okay.
trying to argue with me. I said, bro, at least my team, we can lose, we can lose 4-1. At least we ain't getting swept.
Yeah.
Anyway, Orlando 121 to 83 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They went home, got that home cooking, and they did what they do. They played a great game. The Cavaliers looked like the more inexperienced team tonight. They couldn't shoot the ball. They went 8 of 34 from three-point land, a miserable performance from them. For the Magic, Paolo Banchero led them with 31 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and 0 turnovers, which were a problem for him in the first two games. Jalen Suggs stepped up with 24 points. Franz Wagner had 16, and Cole Anthony had 10 coming off the bench. But the Magic, they got back to their identity. The defensive pressure, they really got out there on the break. They doubled the amount of fast break points scored by Cleveland, and they absolutely dominated the glass in general, 51 rebounds compared to Cleveland's 32, and they got 22 second chance points. Now, watching this one, obviously they do the games at the same time, which is annoying. So it's like I'm switching between both. I've got my computer there, I've got my TV there. But the Magic went up early in the second quarter. The Cavs just didn't come out with the right energy through the first three quarters. I think the Cavs had hit three-pointers throughout three quarters of the game. And the things I loved in this one was just Jalen Suggs is like what I talked about being the key at the start of the series, which we didn't see in the first two games. Jalen Suggs on the perimeter, just that pressure defensively, getting out and leading the transition and just a faster pace of play. And Wendell Carter Jr. in the starting lineup now instead of Jonathan Isaac, and he made a very solid contribution. BJ, what do you make of this one?
Home court matters, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, for some
you
teams.
know, for some teams. And the Orlando Magic really came out and played terrific basketball. And that's good to see for a young team because Mo, the first two games, let's just say they didn't bring their A game. And whether that's nerves or first time being in the playoffs for many of these guys. But you know what? Let's give Paolo Banchero a lot of credit. He came out, he set the tone, he was very aggressive. And you know what? 31 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. And he just came out and really established that he was going to be aggressive. So I respect that. I respect the fact that they came out, they got a win. Jalen Suggs was terrific on the ball, did a great job defensively. I mean, I think he held like Darius Garland, these guys like 5 points. Donovan Mitchell really never got going. No one
13
really.
points for Donovan Mitchell,
Yeah. So
5 points.
give those guys credit. And, I like what they did at home. Now, obviously, the big game is going to be game four. Because Cleveland is going to come out, no matter what happens, if they can split
They
these
won't shoot
games.
that badly again,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
surely.
You get a game out of your system. They were feeling good about themselves. They won the first two games. They clearly were in control. But these 7 game series, they can turn very quickly. So lesson learned, game four. I think that will be the key game. Cleveland still has an opportunity to achieve what they came down there to do, which is to get one game. And get two if possible, but at least get one going back home with an opportunity to close it out.
Who do you got for the next game? Do you think that the Magic can keep doing this?
But it's hard to say. They are a young team. They're unproven. You like to see when young guys respond. And this is great to see. I mean, Paulo really showed up and performed like an all-star. I mean, he really came out and played very well. Jalen Suggs, anytime you get terrific guard play from your lead guard, I mean, it's going to give you an opportunity to win. So if those two guys come out and perform like that, they'll have an opportunity, but I expect a better performance from Cleveland. I really expect them to show up, perform at a level, and at least give themselves a chance to win. I mean, they were just never in this game here tonight.
Yeah,
Tonight,
no,
so
no, and you saw that with the bench coming in early.
Yeah,
And,
you have games like this. So I expect Cleveland to come out, perform, and be ready to play. I mean, certainly when you watch the film, they'll be mad just because they have to watch the game again tomorrow. So
That's
I
right.
think they'll be ready a little bit.
Okay, well, the next game, the Philadelphia 76ers went home for game 3, and they won it against the New York Knicks 125 to 114. Now, BJ, I got to talk about this. Joel Embiid should have been ejected from that game. He's laying on the floor and he grabs Mitchell Robinson's leg while he's laying on the floor. That is an unsportsmanlike act with excessive force, which should be deemed a flagrant foul number 2, automatic ejection. Think about this. If Draymond Green had done that to somebody, they would have sent him from the Oracle Center or whatever it's called now, all the way to Alcatraz Island. If Draymond Green did that, everyone would be going crazy. But they didn't eject Embiid, and he put on the best performance I've seen him put on in the playoffs. He finally had a signature playoff game. It only took him to the age of 30 to do it. He finished with 50 points whilst having half of his face paralyzed, playing on one knee. It was a sensational performance from Embiid. So credit to him. They're going to be so confused when that clip goes on Instagram tomorrow and they're like, this guy hates Embiid. Then they're going to be like, but he's giving him credit. How is this possible? Embiid had a sensational performance to get the Sixers back in that series and prevent them going 3-0 down. He had 50 points. 19 of them came from the free throw line, but there was a stretch. He went 5 of 7 from downtown, but there was a stretch in the game where he hit 3 threes on like basically 3 or 4 possessions. He hit 3 threes on them. And that's what gave Philly the 10-point lead. And the Knicks never really got back into it after that. The biggest thing here was to start the fourth quarter when Embiid went to the bench to get some rest. The Knicks failed to capitalize on those Embiidless minutes. And that's when they really should have got back into the game. One thing that was interesting, a lot of Knicks fans there. You're talking about the home court advantage, but there was a lot of Knicks fans in the building making their voices heard. And the interesting part of, how did Embiid get 50 points? Well, Isaiah Hartenstein had his 3rd foul at the start of the second. Mitchell Robinson was injured. There was a few incidents there where, Embiid could have been tossed from the game quite easily, but he was hobbling around and then he eventually left the game and then left the arena in a walking boot. So hopefully he can recover before the next game. And then, so your starting big's in foul trouble. Your backup big is injured. And then Precious Achiuwa comes in. He played his role pretty well, but Embiid just got to cooking. And that was the ball game. What did you see in this one?
Well, I have 2 words, Joel Embiid. Well, the big fella comes out, has 50 points, set the tone, what he had to do offensively. He basically was playing bully ball out there. He was just running through people. Offensive fouls, offensive charges. He took on the whole team in the confrontation.
Hit a bunch of
Knicks.
guys in the nuts.
Yeah,
he did that too.
Yeah, he did his thing. So, game 4 is going to be a street fight. I'm sure there will be a lot of chit chatter going on in the media. I'm sure there'll be a lot of analysis that will be, just like what you said. Maybe some people will say he should have been thrown out, but overall.
Well, he should have, because first of all, he was complaining the entire time back down the floor that he didn't get the foul call on the 3-pointer that he shot. And then it looked like it was out of frustration. And then after the game, he's saying, oh no, I didn't intend to hurt anybody. I was just protecting myself. Brother, you don't need to grab someone's legs while you're laying on the floor to protect yourself. That's not how it works.
Yeah. So listen. Here's what I see. Normally the Knicks are the more physical team than most. They play a brand of basketball where they just kind of grind the game out. Philly came out and met the intensity, and this is what happens. Now, do I think Joel is going to give you another 50 like he did tonight?
He could.
He could. It's possible, especially we don't know the health currently of Mitchell Robinson. Clearly, you can see how important Mitchell Robinson is to this group.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He only played 12 minutes tonight and still finished with 7 rebounds. And
This is
his
what
presence on the board is absolutely huge.
you can see how important he is to this team. Okay. So now they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do as far as guarding Joel Embiid. Tom Thibodeau traditionally doesn't like to double team and compromise his defense. But he may have to do something here if Joel gets a hot start and starts dominating, and you're down a big with Mitchell Robinson, because Mitchell Robinson was very pivotal to the first 2 wins.
Mm.
So, we'll see how this plays out. It was good to see Jalen Brunson. I don't think he shot 50%, but he shot close to 50%. He got up like 20 something shots again here today.
But he was making them today. He finished with 39 points.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know what he shot from the field.
He was 13 of 27, 3 of 7 from downtown, 10 of 12
he
from
almost
the line.
he was almost what was it, about 47, 48%?
48%. Good maths, BJ. Good maths.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And so that's good. Now they got to come out and get a win.
Mm-hmm.
If the Sixers win Game 4, now we got it. Now we
got a series. But like Josh Hart, 4 of 8 from 3, he finished with 20 points. OG had 17. Hartenstein only played 25 minutes because of foul trouble. He finished with 14. But it was DiVincenzo not getting going. He was 2 of 7. He finished with 5 points, which is a contribution that you kind of would have had.
He had a dunk tonight. No, he had a dunk tonight. It was pretty nice though.
He did the big ragu is what they call him. And then off the bench, you've got Miles McBride who had 8, and then Bogdanovic 1 from 5. It's not ideal for you. And you've really got to find something coming off your bench. But Tyrese Maxey had a nice game as well. He finished with 25 points. And this is the problem you have, because you're talking about doubling Joel Embiid, is you also have to worry about Maxey and how potent he is. And there were some possessions there where they're trying to kind of trap him, throw 2 defenders at him, and that just opens up the floor. And then players have got to rotate back out, and then Embiid is able to get attack off the catch when Maxey's giving up the ball. So it's a tough one to figure out for Tom Thibodeau, because if you're going to start double teaming Joel Embiid, then Maxey with his acceleration can get to the basket, and there's going to be wide open shooters, or they're going to be able to swing the ball and find the open man quite easily.
Well, you're going to have to live with something. I mean, Joel Embiid is a great player, make no doubt about it. So Tom Thibodeau and his staff have to make a choice. And here are the choices. Either you're going to allow Joel Embiid to get 50, 60 points, but you got to shut everyone else off. Okay. They can do that, or they can double team him and then see what the other guys will do. Maybe Oubre has a game, or Tobias Harris has a game. Tyrese Maxey, more times than not, is going to get going because of the speed that he has. I don't think there's anyone on the Knicks can match his speed and quickness. When you play screen roll with him and Joel Embiid, what are you going to do? Switch? You're not going to do that. So he will, more than likely, if he plays, 35 plus minutes, he'll get 20 or more points. But the other guys, which they've barely done a good job. I mean, I think there's only one other guy or a couple guys in double figures. I think
Campaign with a nice surprise 11 points off the bench, and Kelly Oubre had 15.
Yeah. So as long as they can do that and keep these guys, 10 under 10 points under double figures, they should be in good shape. So we'll see what coach does. I think I would, if it were me, I would kind of get a feel. Joel looked like he's hobbling around out there.
And he's still dropping 50.
And he's still dropping 50. So I would test his conditioning more than anything, because when you're playing well, you're doing 2 or more things. And Joel, I don't know what he had rebound-wise, but I don't remember him having a lot of rebounds.
No, he only had 8.
For a
only
guy,
8,
Yeah, but I mean, he's a 7-footer. He's close to the basket for the most part. And he doesn't look very active to me. But he had 50 points tonight. I mean, you're scoring, but he wasn't active in the game. He can block shots. He can do a lot of different things, but he seems to still be favoring that knee just a little bit.
Yeah, I think it depends now. If Mitch Robinson's not available, they're going to go at Isaiah Hartenstein early, try and get him in foul trouble, and then try and get Precious Achiuwa in the game. And, you're in the same conundrum as you were today. So that's that. But now let's talk about my favorite part of the show, The Lakers losing. Hey, we should have a jingle for that. I love it. But we might only get to play it one more time this season because they lost game 3 against the Denver Nuggets at home, 112 to 105. Now, the Lakers started hot and they were really attacking the paint. They really got it going on the inside. And the Nuggets were turning the ball over early in the game. And it was interesting to see, because the Nuggets don't typically turn the ball over a whole lot. They're usually very methodical with the offense, but the Lakers will manage to generate turnovers, get out in transition, really score. And I think the key to beating Denver, you've got to play with the quickness that the Lakers weren't able to sustain over the entire course of the game. Looking at the numbers, the Nuggets had 4 guys who scored more than 20 or more points. Michael Porter Jr. had 20. Aaron Gordon had 29. We'll talk about him. Jokic had 24 to go along with 15 rebounds. And Aaron Gordon had 15 rebounds, and Michael Porter Jr. had 10 rebounds. Jokic also had 9 assists, and Jamal Murray had 22 points as well. But for the Lakers, on the other side, Anthony Davis, another huge stat line, 33 points. LeBron had 26, and Austin Reeves had 22, but they didn't get much production from the other guys. And D'Angelo Russell, 0 from 7. Nil point, a donut on the score sheet. He could not get it going. And the Lakers are now down 3-0. Against a team who's beaten them 11 times in a row. There's a few things that stand out to me. First of all is D'Angelo Russell obviously not hitting a shot, but then BJ, players, when they've got it going, they have what you call heat checks. If you've hit a couple shots and you're already starting to feel yourself, you might come down, you might take a 3 from a little further out than you usually take it. You might take a shot, not really in the flow of the offense, just because you're feeling yourself. D'Angelo Russell had the opposite of a heat check. He has like cold checks where he hasn't made a shot and he's going to come down in transition and he's just going to let it fly, a terrible shot choice. Or there was one where LeBron was coming up to collect the ball and he decides to just ping off a 3 instead. I don't know his decision-making process. There's even a clip going viral of him on the bench, not with the rest of the team. I think he's eating some sort of snack whilst the rest of the team are in the huddle. Not great times in LA for him. But, Anthony Davis, right? 33 points, 15 rebounds. It looks great on paper. Once again, a terrible fourth quarter. He only scored 3 points in the fourth quarter. But Anthony Davis, as much as he's a great defender and whatnot, Aaron Gordon managed to get, I think, at least 6 points in a row, just being in a dunk spot and cutting to the hoop and getting a wide open layup.
Who was supposed to guard him? Was that AD or LeBron?
Well, it depends on the matchups, and then you're coming back on cross match. But like to start the game, they were matching up Jokic with AD, and then the Denver Nuggets like to do this throughout the series. They start with Jokic on AD, which lets Aaron Gordon guard LeBron James. But then in the second half, they tend to put Aaron Gordon on Anthony Davis, and then they'll put Jokic on Rui Hachimura. But there was like Michael Malone did something great in this one. There was a few possessions where he put Aaron Gordon on D'Angelo Russell, which allowed Aaron Gordon then, because he's playing the perimeter, to get out ahead of the pack in transition and score with ease over there. He was sensational tonight. He went 12 of 18 from the field and grabbed 15 boards as well. And they could not keep the Denver Nuggets off the glass in this game. I just don't see a way that the Lakers beat this team. The Lakers were leading again up until the third quarter. They led the entire game until the third quarter when Denver, just as they do, really took over. They out-rebounded the Lakers 51-38. 19 second chance points. The Lakers did a great job, 25 fast break points, but the 3-point shooting for the Lakers tonight was a sore sight. They scored 5 of their 27 threes. That's 18%, right? Torian Prince got 1, LeBron got 1 out of 6, Rui got 1, and Austin Reeves got 2. D'Lo, 0 from 6. Gabe Vincent couldn't hit one. He only played 20 minutes. Spencer Dinwiddie couldn't hit one either. So the shooting for the Lakers just wasn't there. Maybe that was by design because they were scoring a lot on the inside and the Denver Nuggets thought, hey, we'll live with this. And on the other hand, the Denver Nuggets, though, they didn't score a lot of threes, which is interesting because they also only scored 5 threes. But it's the way that they get such great looks through their offense. And there was times watching the Lakers where their offense just felt so stagnant, especially in the half court. Their offense felt just so stagnant. Anthony Davis had a great scoring line, but there were so many possessions where he's just putting his head down and going at the hoop, and there's like 3 defenders in front of him. And it's like, Anthony Davis, you grew up as a guard, and coming to the NBA, we all thought you were going to be this amazing passer. But these are situations in which there are open teammates that could easily find the ball. But I get it. You want to get to the line and get fouled or try and score an and one, I understand. But the half court offense of the Lakers just looks so stagnant. And on the other hand, the Denver Nuggets half court offense, there's cuts happening off the ball. There's things happening on the strong side and the weak side at the same time. It's just a well-oiled machine, as you would say. So it just shows the golfing class between the two sides. And the Denver Nuggets continue to truck on and just look absolutely unstoppable.
Well, it's clear that the Denver Nuggets are the superior team. They're just not the better team. They're the superior team. They've taken, the kitchen sink from the Lakers, and they still win. It doesn't matter what the Lakers do. Denver just has their number, and I'm sure it's incredibly frustrating when a team just beats you, and they let you know that yeah, we're better than you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Like Michael Porter Jr. did a podcast before today's game. Nikola Jokic is dressing up as Disney characters or whatever it is before the games to do commercials. Jamal Murray is only playing in the fourth quarters. Michael Malone is talking his trash in the media, and the Lakers still can't find a way to beat this team.
Yeah, and I want to say this. We a couple of days ago, or earlier this week, or was that last week or something, we were talking about Team USA. Aaron Gordon should be on the team.
That's what I said.
Aaron Gordon should be on the team. And he's a versatile defender. He's a tough player. He plays with a level of toughness. And the thing I admire about him is you don't have to call any plays for him, and he's very effective in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you need those type of players, right? When you're constructing a team, you're not just getting the best players. When you're constructing a team, you have to have players on your team who can contribute to the game and play effectively, and you don't have to do or call any plays for them. A la Dennis Rodman, a la Ben Wallace, those type of guys where, they play and you don't have to do anything for them, but they will actually contribute, sometimes dominate a game, and they can do that. Aaron Gordon, he was just in a dunker spot.
Yep.
That's not a play, ladies and gentlemen.
Spot, put him in transition, and 30 points is the result.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, no, that's the type of guy you need on your team.
Absolutely.
You just say, hey, just get out of the way, and we'll find you if we need you, we'll find you. And that's what happened tonight. So great job by this team. They're a phenomenal passing team. They have 4 guys, Mo, score over 20 points. That's unbelievable. And they just play so well together. They know they have a championship mentality now. They play with a level of confidence. They take their show on the road. They're calm. Coach Malone knows his team. They know Coach Malone. They just got it going. Now they're just cruising along here right now. And the Lakers can't do anything. D'Lo had I like D'Lo. He's, people go up and down about the way he plays. I like him. He always shows up. But tonight he did not show up. Okay. He had I think 7 shots and 6 of them were threes. That's tough to play that way. So this is not looking good for the Lakers. I think it's virtually impossible for them to lose.
If they were going to win one, it would have been this one. Well, if they were going to win one, it would have been game 2 where they're up by 20. And then if they were going to win one, it would have been this game where you finally at home and you come out firing, and the Nuggets are turning the ball over. Jokic, and here's another thing. Jokic picked up a couple early fouls, but Mike Malone didn't bench him. He just trusted him and kept him out there. And that was huge for the Nuggets.
It's interesting. They just, you know the look, Mo. You know the look. I wish I could patent the look. I wish I could just turn it on when you just know it. Well, they have the look. They're like, okay. Let's take care of business, have a nice meal after the game, get our rest, and now give ourselves a chance to win too. So the Lakers, look, you never want to get swept at home, right? You never want that to happen. And LA is going to let you hear about it if it does. To your enjoyment, but it's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough crowd. I'm sure those guys are going to come out with some pride, but that's going to be
Yeah,
tough.
all the Lakers fans were chanting to fire Darvin Ham, and he played his like 3 guard lineups, and he's not coached well at all in this
Yeah,
series.
you know,
But my thing is this. Let me just say this. I understand all the problems Lakers fans have with Darvin Ham, and I understand all the mistakes
what
he
is the
makes.
problem? What is
But
the problem? What is the problem with Darvin Ham?
but I'm
Explain to
going to
me.
explain this to you. Some of the lineup choices he has, he's not making in-game adjustments like you see Mike Malone do. There's a whole bunch of stuff that Lakers fans complain about. But my thing is this. He's playing the players that are given to him by the front office. The front office are the people that also need to be fired because Rob Pelinka has done a horrible job constructing this team. You got swept by this team a year ago. What have you done in the offseason, during the season, and the trade deadline? Because if you want to come out the West, you're going to face the Denver Nuggets. You got to take out the reigning champs at some stage. What did you do, Rob Pelinka, to prepare for this? Because this is like watching last year's series just on repeat. BJ, I could show you last year's series or I could show you this year's series and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Rob Pelinka has done a horrible job with this team ever since the bubble, pretty much. Why did they go away from a formula? Why did they go away from a formula that was working?
But Mo, what can they do? Like, I know we want to blame. Okay, I get it. The media wants to blame someone. Right?
What can he do?
Yeah. What can he do? They have so much money invested into 2 players.
Okay.
What can you do?
They had so much money invested into the same 2 players when they won the championship in the bubble. But they had a team where
that was what,
Anthony Davis wasn't forced to play the center position.
But Mo, that was 2 or 3 years ago.
They had a real point guard on the roster in Rajon Rondo. They had real centers on the roster in Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. Now, BJ, look at this roster and tell me who's the point guard of this team.
The same player has been the point guard,
and there we go.
Since he arrived, it's LeBron James. That's the point guard.
Okay, but they were winning with Rondo on the team.
Rondo retired.
Okay.
Rondo retired, so he's no longer available.
Okay. Now there are many things you could do with
Frank
this roster.
Vogel's moved on. He's moved on.
That was a mistake. They shouldn't have fired Frank Vogel because he was just the scapegoat. And just like Russell Westbrook was the scapegoat before him. The Lakers always need a scapegoat. Right now it's Darvin Ham. But I'm looking at this roster and I just think you did nothing to improve. And you're surprised that it's the same result as last year.
Okay.
I don't understand. Your job as the general manager is to upgrade your team where you see fit. That you could have made numerous moves. You could have, instead of re-signing D'Angelo Russell, you could have gone and got Fred VanVleet instead. You could have signed a whole bunch of other players. Hell, Dwight Howard's chilling in Taiwan. I would have signed him just to play this series. I would have signed him just to play this 7-game series.
Well, they got Jackson Hayes.
Ooh, wow. Yes, because Jackson Hayes knows exactly what it takes to go up against the best player in the world.
Christian Wood is out. Jared Vanderbilt is out.
Even if they were all healthy, it would still be the same result.
Gabe Vincent, they did something. I mean, you might not agree with
Christian Wood. There was a reason why he was available to be signed.
Mo, you said they didn't do anything. They
didn't do anything.
Okay, you may not have liked it, but Christian Wood was not on the team. Gabe Vincent was not on the team. Okay, Spencer Dinwiddie was not on the team. They did something. They did something. You may not have agreed with the players they picked up. Okay, we can talk about that. But they did something. They didn't stand pat. Jackson Hayes, they went out and got a young 7-footer, athletic guy. They did something.
Jackson Hayes was a DNP coach's decision.
Mo, we can talk about the players, and you may not agree with the decision, but you said they didn't do anything. They did something.
No, you're just listing the names of the players they signed, right? But which players do they sign that can have an impact in this series?
Mo, okay, you don't agree with that. You don't agree with the decisions. Okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. You're entitled to that. But you said they didn't do anything. They did something.
They didn't do anything impactful.
Okay. Well,
You can
that's
sign your
debatable.
12th, 13th, and
They
14th man of your roster.
they
That's cool. They
they
can change every year.
got to the playoffs. They went to the conference finals a year ago. They went to the conference
And got
finals.
swept.
Okay. The fact remains they went to the conference finals and they made the playoffs this year.
The fact remains they got to the conference finals last year, got swept, made the play in this year, won, and maybe getting swept in the first round. But it's now time to predict tonight's games. The first one being the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. Who you got for that one?
I'm going with the Pacers.
Series is tied 1 apiece. We're headed back to Indiana. The crowd's going to be jumping. It's been a while since Indiana have had really meaningful playoff games there. So
Pacers.
I like that.
What's the status of Giannis?
He's still out. I think he's not
He's
even
still
doing
out.
contact drills, and he's not even doing scrimmages.
Okay.
He's just doing
Yeah.
stationary shooting drills. So it's
Pacers.
going to be a tough series for Milwaukee.
Pacers big. I'm going Pacers big tomorrow night.
Okay. Now, here's one for you. The Clippers and the Mavericks.
Oh, I'm going Mavs. I'm
Dallas.
going Mavs. I'm buying Luka. I'm buying the Luka Magic right now.
I'm waiting to
going
find
Mavs.
out Daniel Gafford's injury status. I need to see that before I can make a pick. But
And is it Kleffler? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Kleber.
Kleffler? Kleber. I say Kleffner. Kleber. In Kleber, we trust.
You trust in Maxi Kleber.
Yeah,
Kleber can be hot and
Kleber.
cold, so I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm
but
going Kleber.
here's one for you. The Phoenix Suns are hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Ooh.
And I'm ready to get the broom out.
I'm going to go Suns just because you said that.
Nah.
I'm going to go Suns. I'm going Suns.
I'm going Timberwolves. Ant-Man, Jaden McDaniels.
You know what?
Rudy Gobert.
I mean, come on. KD, come on. KD's got to be good for one
KD
game.
got swept by the Celtics.
You know what? That was an anomaly.
I got to say, if it happens again, it's no longer an anomaly.
I know.
A young, hungry team with an elite defense. We've seen this story before.
I'm gonna say Phoenix this game.
But what adjustment can Phoenix make that will win them this game tonight?
I think they'll shoot better.
That's an amazing adjustment. If everyone could just do that adjustment, then everyone's problems would be solved.
Okay. I think you play better at home. I think you would agree with that.
Yes.
I think your bench plays better at home. I think they'll have a little bit more energy. As you know, traditionally, the road team doesn't shoot as well on the road, so forth and so on. So and listen, Kevin Durant, I mean, he's due for a game. I mean, he's due. I mean, I thought he was going to be the difference in this series. I thought he had an advantage over Cat. I really did. But so give Cat credit. Cat and Nas Reed, they're like, take that, BJ. So they have been playing terrific. They've outperformed both of them, their matchup, which has been Kevin Durant. Your guy, Rudy Gobert, has
the
been
Stifle Tower.
Yeah, he's been a monster in this series. You know, Conley's getting 20. I mean, they have it all. They have it going right at home. But I'm going to pick the Phoenix Suns in game 3. Unlike our Lakers, I think they win this game. This is a must game for them. I think they respond. Now, game 4, that's anyone's game. But I'm going to say game 3, I'm going with the Phoenix Suns.
Okay. Well, time will tell. We'll be back tomorrow to break it down. And anyone listening to this, on Saturday, I am hosting the launching of the NBA store, the new and improved NBA store on Oxford Street in London. We're hosting a NBA 2K24 tournament between 5 and 7 p.m. So make sure you pull up. I'll be there from around 4 if you want to come and talk about the playoffs. And if you want to laugh about the Boston Celtics losing, I will be there from 4 o'clock onwards. But come down, the new NBA store on Oxford Street. I'll be there. We got some good prizes to give away. 5 till 7 2K tournament. Come and show off your skills. And we'll see what's good. But until next time, make sure you subscribe to the show. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from. And most importantly, you guys know the vibes. Get buckets.